Hello, my beautiful friend. It's Betsy Gutting. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to speak with you about finding happiness and fulfillment through your natal moon sign. These are connected. Your well-being, your happiness, your overall sense of calm, contentment, and satisfaction in your life is very much connected to your natal moon sign. One of the most important learnings I ever got, something that really enhanced my life and made a huge difference in my life when I was first beginning to study astrology, was when I learned that in order to be happy, you must meet the needs of your natal moon sign. You must meet the needs, you must prioritize even the needs of your moon sign. And all 12 moon signs have different needs. Some have some in common, yes, but they're very different energies from sign to sign. So today in this video, I'm going to be speaking with you about, I'm going to go through each of the 12 moon signs. I want you to listen for your moon sign, of course, and maybe your significant others, your children, people that are important to you, but also the house that your natal moon sign is in. So I'll give you a quick example. Maybe you have a Libra moon in the second house, so you want to listen for Libra, but you also want to listen to the Taurus reading because Taurus is associated with the second house, and I will be telling you which house each sign is associated with, so you know. But before you jump to your moon sign, listen to my introduction because I want to give you a few golden nuggets of information that will help you to work with your moon sign's energy. And if you're new to me, hi, I'm Betsy Gutting. I'm an intuitive life coach as well as a psychic astrologer, and it's my passion, my dedication to work with you to help you catalyze what you most want in your life, what's most important to you now, to take a vision or to help you formulate a vision that you can then bring into manifestation. So we can do this through an astrology consultation, we can do this through a clarity session or a soul alchemy coaching partnership. So I invite you to go to my website, check out my services, and I will leave the link below to that. My website is betsygutting.com, and I have a free gift for you. That free gift I'll tell you about at the end of this video, so be sure and stay tuned for that. If you would like to receive my weekly inspirational updates, my weekly inspirational updates are all about the current astrology of the week. Then go to my website and sign up, betsygutting.com, and you'll get those directly in your inbox. So let's get into it. Now, many of you may already know that the moon represents the divine feminine. The moon, when you look at a full moon, why are we so drawn into full moons? Why are we so captivated by the light of the moon? It's because we instinctually feel and know that the moon represents our divine feminine self. She represents our attractive nature. And I don't mean attractive as in our beautiful, our physical beauty. I mean attractive as in it's our feminine nature that attracts to us what we most want, our feeling nature. It's very much tied and connected to how magnetic we are to what it is we want to manifest. So the moon, in my opinion, should get a lot more coverage in astrology. We have our sun sign, our rising sign, and our moon sign. These are the three dominant energies, the three primary energies in our lives. And we have heard so much about sun signs, right? I mean, horoscopes are all, like newspaper horoscopes, for example, they're all based on the sun sign. But it's the moon sign whose needs we must meet in order to be happy. The moon is also directly connected to our ability to receive, the divine feminine being our receptive nature. It's how big is your container for receiving. So the more we meet the needs of our own moon sign, the more we are attractive to our own abundance, to whatever is ours to receive. Now, the transiting moon changes signs every 2 to 3 days. Every 2 to 3 days, the moon changes signs. And we feel this, whether we're aware of it or not, we feel it. I notice that when the moon is in Capricorn, Capricorn represents work, it represents ambition. It's the part of us that wants to, achieve, wants to climb the ladder, or wants us to expand or have our own business, or just, it's the mountain goat It's the part of us that wants to go to new levels in a very earthly way, often tied to work and career. When the moon is here, I often really want to buckle down and get to work. That's when I have a lot more energy to get things done that I haven't gotten done before. So I want to capitalize on that energy. When, by contrast, the moon goes into Cancer, it feels very personal to me, and not just because I have a Cancer moon. Cancer energy for all of us shifts our focus to home and family. It shifts our focus to our emotions. It shifts our focus to healing often and releasing. And we often get very sentimental. We look at the past more. We might tune into former relationships then. So that's a good time to really allow ourselves, give ourselves the space to do some emotional healing if that's what we need. So beginning to tune into the cycles of the moon and tracking the moon around the zodiac and seeing where it is can really help you to become more effective in your life in all ways, more efficient, more productive, and just happier all together. The moon is connected to the mother archetype. So some of us, our mothers were the most nurturing people in our lives. For some of us, that's not the case at all. For some of us, it was our father, or it was neither mother or father. It was maybe not a specific person. Maybe we received most of our nurturing from nature, or from the arts, or from God, spirit, our connection to the divine. So how you experience the moon in the most nurturing way, it's really different for everyone. What's important is that you know and begin to learn what nurtures you the most and give that to yourself. Now, how you experience your natal moon sign is flavored by the house that your natal moon is in. It shows you an area of focus that really matters to you. It may be a focus of healing for you, a focus of your expression or your creativity, but it's an area that you'll really be able to relate to in terms of what you want to create and manifest in the world as well. And it is also tinged by your experience of your natal moon energy is very much tinged by the aspects that are being made to your moon from other planets. So for example, Jupiter could be making a positive aspect, a trine to your moon. Or you could have Saturn squaring your moon, or Mars could be sextiling your moon. You've heard these terms before, I'm sure, if you're not fully aware of them. But this is where it can really help to get a professional astrology reading to find out, how is my moon being affected by the other planets? And when we have these positive energy flow aspects, it's like a boost. It's like a leg up. And when we have squares or oppositions or conjunctions, it's sometimes those manifest as challenges, but through those challenges we grow. So they're areas of growth. They're what I would call your growing edge. And when you know what those are, you can work with those energies more easily. So for example, I have a Cancer moon. The Cancer moon is ruled. So for example, I have a Cancer moon. It's in my first house of the self. So I am definitely here to have a very personal experience of learning more about myself, learning more about my own identity, how I want to project myself in the world. And I do a lot of healing work on my emotions. Now, my Cancer moon is opposite from my natal Saturn in Capricorn. So this means, you can tell by the tone of my voice, this is a challenge for me. This has been a challenge for me my whole life. Saturn for me represents the father. It represents like discipline and hard work and sort of cracking the whip at times. Here's my natal moon that says, I want this, I want that, I want to experience this. These are my heart's desires. And here's Saturn saying, okay, do you have the money for that? Did you put in the hard work for that? You get the idea. And so this is something that I have been working with for quite some time now. And oppositions are really about balancing the two energies. So not letting Saturn be a killjoy to my moon, but making sure that I do what I need to do to create what it is that I want to create in the world. And this is very much been tied to my relationship with my father and healing the relationship with my father and learning to mother myself, because the moon is the mother and I have needed to learn how to give myself the self-love, the nurturing, the care, and the mothering that I didn't fully receive as a child. So let's get into the 12 moon signs and their corresponding houses. As I said, listen for your moon sign and listen for the house that your moon sign is in to get a full picture. And if you want to know more about how your moon is aspected in your natal astrology chart, your leg up kind of energy, the energy that boosts you forward, and also the challenges and how you can move through those and work with that energy, check out my astrology consultations. We can talk about your moon sign as well as all the other placements in your chart, the current transits, and the upcoming transits and how they can support you. Okay, so let's start with Aries. Aries moon corresponds to the first house in the zodiac. Aries, you are what I call a fire starter in the best of all possible ways. You are passionate, you're spontaneous, you need to have the freedom to be spontaneous. You need lots of new and different experiences. You need stimulation. You need to explore life, experience life fully. And sometimes this means you will do a lot of different things that don't necessarily lead to a specific place or a specific destination. And that's okay. Aries, you may have in your childhood or even currently in your life, you may have people in your life that are naysayers that say, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to buckle down and like choose one thing? That is not necessarily your path. Not to say that some of you aren't doing that, but you need to have the freedom to be experimental and spontaneous. You thrive on passion, you thrive on inspiration. You will wait until you receive a clear inspiration and then you will quickly act on it. Some people say that Aries are impulsive. I like to take that word impulsive and break it down. What does it mean? It means you act on an impulse that you receive. You receive a very visceral impulse within you. It's very primal almost. And because you are a fire sign, you're a cardinal fire sign, and cardinal is you initiate things. You initiate the season of spring. What is spring? It's like bursting forward. It's new life. It's a new you even. This is the energy that you thrive on. So you need to start new things on a fairly regular basis or you will feel stagnant. You will feel like, what is life all about? Why am I even here if I'm not getting like this new inspiration? And you might even pray for inspiration sometimes or pray for inspiration on a regular basis so that you can keep that fire burning in your belly. That's really important to you. The fire element is about transformation. So when you receive inspiration and you act on that, even if it doesn't lead you to a specific end point, say a specific career path that you do for many years after that, it is a stepping stone for you. It's a stepping stone. Your life most likely is a series of a number of different stepping stones, and you're learning and you're growing and you are maturing and you're building as you go from stepping stone to stepping stone to stepping stone. So if you have people in your life that say, you know, why don't you just choose one thing? It's important to realize that that probably isn't your path. Now you need to move your body. You need to move your body because you have a lot of physical energy. You're considered the most energetic sign of the zodiac. Most Aries really love to have, physical intimacy, sex. They really love that because it's another area of physical expression. Having at least one sport or one, often Aries are athletes, very strong in the body, having at least one thing that you really love that allows you to move the energy, whether it's hiking or walking or dancing or playing tennis or whatever it is, will really be beneficial to you. You also need a way to move your anger. So physical exercise can be a way to do that. When you get frustrated, a lot of times there's anger there. And if you're not able to express it in really constructive ways, like hitting a pillow or, yelling into a pillow or going out, one of my favorite methods is going out for a drive in my car by myself, and then I can let it out and let it out and let it out without hurting anyone or hurting anyone's ears. You really need to be aware of when you're storing anger in your body, because it's not good for your physical health and it'll drain your energy and can even cause health problems. You're great at being an entrepreneur. You like to do things your way. You have a specific way of doing things, and you don't. Patience is usually not a virtue of Aries. Most Aries are learning to be patient, but when you get an idea and you want to move forward on a project, you usually want to do it pretty quickly, and you don't really want to wait around for anyone else's schedule. So unless you're super organized, which you may be, it can be very helpful for you to have a team of people that help you, but you probably are kind of a do-it-yourselfer. Like, you like to do things on yourself, because then you can do it on your own schedule and you can do it in your own way. You're ruled by Mars, Aries, and Mars is the masculine, get-it-done energy. It's the go-getter. So you are a go-getter of the zodiac. You need to be able to have the freedom to do this. You notice I mentioned freedom and spontaneity a number of times. But this is really important to you. And a challenge is very important to you. If you look back on your life and you see what were the important turning points of your life, oftentimes for Aries, they involved a specific challenge. You love challenging yourself. You love to see if you can do something that you're not sure you can achieve. You want to see if you can, you want to prove to yourself that you can do something that you're not sure you can achieve. So I'll leave this for you, Aries. It's important that you feel lit up. It's important that you do things in your life that really light you up, that really stimulate you, that really feed your spirit. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, your moon sign is associated with the second house, which is associated with money, values, self-esteem, soul esteem, what matters most to you. Taurus, you are very good at creating stability for yourself. Stability is very important to you. You must have an income that you can count on. You're good at manifesting material things. You work very hard. You work methodically. You work consistently. You are reliable, and you want other people in your life that are reliable as well. You have your own way of building life, building material security for yourself. You probably have brought into your life some beautiful things, and it's because it brings you comfort, and comfort's very important to you. You're basically here to experience the best of this earthly playground, okay? So really good food. The word Taurus is in the word restaurant, okay? So you might love to go out to restaurants, but really good food, creature comforts as we call them, like really nice cotton sheets. It's going to be different for everyone, but basically all the things, the sensual pleasures of life, the five senses. You're here to really experience and embrace the five senses. And of course, the sixth sense of intuition as well. That's, I'm sure, very active for you if you are here. If you're listening to my channel and you are leading a spiritually connected life. Taurus, you are connected to the throat chakra, and so using your voice to speak your truth is very important. This is another need that you have. You may be a singer, you may love to sing. If you don't, just know that your voice is the most powerful healing force for you. It's important that you stand up for yourself. It's important that you set clear boundaries, and I know from working with a number of Taurians that setting boundaries is not often something they enjoy doing. And I understand it. As a Cancer, I understand it too. Like, it's not that much fun a lot of times, because you just want ease. You just want harmony. You want things to be easy. And, setting boundaries with people sometimes makes you feel like, oh, I don't want to do that. But it's important to you to keep your throat chakra clear and healed. You're ruled by Venus, Taurus. And this again brings us back to pleasure, beauty, money, all the yummy things in life. You are a fixed earth sign. Fixed meaning you don't like change. You really don't like change. You will change if you have to change, but it's not something that you would sign up for. And earth being, again, the material reality. It's likely that you have karmic gifts awaiting you in this lifetime, Taurus. Karmic gifts. There are things you've done in past lifetimes or in your childhood, whatever your belief system is around that that are bringing you karmic gifts. So this is a wonderful sign to have. Actually, the moon is exalted in Taurus, meaning that you can receive a lot of the beautiful moon's gifts through this specific moon sign. So you may have an inheritance coming to you, or you may have already inherited money. You may receive money and gifts through your relationships. When I was tuning into you and thinking about these karmic gifts, I was thinking of the movie Sound of Music. Have you seen the movie Sound of Music? One of my favorite movies. I think I've seen it like 6 or 7 times. And in that movie, the two main characters, when they finally meet and fall in love, they sing a song called Something Good. I must have done something good to earn this love, to receive this love, the beautiful love between them. They were both singing, I must have done something good. So you might want to go to YouTube and Google that song, and you'll get a sense of you and what you're here to experience in this lifetime. Okay, Gemini. Gemini, your moon sign is associated with the 3rd house. The 3rd house is communication, it's siblings, it is your local environment, it's short trips. It's basically everything, the people you see on a regular basis in your local, wherever you live. So your local environment, your home is very important to you, Gemini. And you are mutable air. Mutable air. Mutable is changeable. It means you flow with change easily. You need the ability to make changes if you need them. You are super creative. You are mercurial because you're ruled by Mercury, which is the winged messenger, and Mercury is always giving you downloads. You're always receiving information through the ethereal realm. You're also receiving information through just hearing other people speak, through YouTube videos and through podcasts. Like, you are a lifelong learner. You're always seeking new stimulation and learning. You will always be learning new things. This is really important to you, Gemini. You have the gift of writing. You have the gift of speaking, the gift of gab, as we say. Yes, you are very witty. You need freedom, Gemini. Freedom is the battle cry of all Geminis. I don't need to tell you that. You need to have the freedom to be spontaneous. And so if you have other aspects to your moon, or you have other placements in your chart that ever make you feel fenced in or trapped or hemmed in, you have to give yourself the ability to feel free. Journaling is really good for you. You have to move the energy out of your brain and into your body, because you have a lot of chatter often going on in your mind, because air is the mind. So you need a way to dump what's in your mind onto the page or out, basically get it out of your body so you can receive the wisdom of your body. I'm a Gemini sun, so I love to dance. I highly recommend dancing, but any kind of movement, walking, hiking, moving the energy is super important to you. Singing, you may love to sing, because that also, it's a form of communication, and it's a way of healing, and it's a way of moving the energy as well. Most Geminis love to travel. When you travel, you get a new perspective on your life, or on life in general. So travel could be something that you have a need for. You need adventure, Gemini. You need new adventures. So be sure and gift that to yourself. Most Gemini moons need to be able to go from flower to flower to flower. It's an exploratory energy. And I'm laughing because that doesn't mean that you are necessarily a player when it comes to dating or relationships. There's a little bit of a myth, I would say, about Geminis, that they're fickle, that they're two-faced, that they can't commit in relationships. If a Gemini really wants to commit, a Gemini will commit, but it has to be the right time in your life. You have to feel that strong desire to be in a relationship. And if you do feel that strong desire, you can commit. You can be trusted, so to speak, but it has to be something that you really want, and the timing has to be right for you. But overall, what's most important is that you give yourself the freedom to follow whatever is calling to you in any specific moment, to say yes to your heart, obviously weighing the other commitments and responsibilities in your life. and to stay true to who you are, Gemini. Give yourself time to play. You need to be playful. You need to be silly. You need to let the inner child out, or you will feel, in the tarot, the Eight of Swords is connected to Gemini. Swords being air, but also swords can have, there can be this, you can feel trapped. You can feel like you're in a straitjacket when you don't give yourself the freedom, the playtime, the chance to experiment with life, and the chance to always be learning new things, and then sharing what you learn. Geminis love to share what they learn. It really helps you to solidify your learning and to feel like you really contributed to the world, because you sharing what you're learning, you connecting with other people, you need that connection. You need to be the social butterfly. You need to have often friends in different groups and different, all kinds of friends is very common for Geminis, to really have that connection that makes you feel like you have a true sense of belonging in your life. And when it comes to relationships, Gemini, especially a partnership like a significant other, if your partner has a lot of air in their chart or significant placements, personal planets, for example, in air, it will really help to increase your compatibility. Okay, Cancer. Cancer moon here myself. So Cancers, you are ruled by the moon herself. It's very important that you give to yourself as much as you give to others. Cancers are sort of notorious for being overgivers, because you feel other people's feelings so much, you are so empathic. They feel like they're your own feelings and your own needs. And often with Cancers, we don't know the difference between what we need, what our desires are, and what other people's are. So it's really helpful to stop and say, is this mine or is it theirs? Is this what I want? Is this what I truly want? Is this what I truly need? Or is this somebody else's need? And do I have the bandwidth and the desire to give to them? You can easily give too much energy. My yoga teacher says, Betsy, save some for yourself. Even when I'm doing yoga poses, she's like, save some for yourself. In other words, like, don't put all of your energy into that one pose, because what about you? So I love that. It makes me laugh. So this moon sign really needs to be aware of what is yours and what is someone else's. Why do I suddenly feel heavy or icky when a few minutes earlier I was laughing and feeling light and great? Is it my energy or is it their energy? This is really important to differentiate, because with this water sign, and with all water signs actually, we absorb other people's energy unless we're very conscious of it. And just asking that question, is this mine, can help you to kind of rise above and release any energy that's not associated with you. The Cancer moon is associated with the 4th house of home, family, and the inner self. Cancer is a cardinal water sign. Cardinal meaning you initiate, you take the initiative, you are a sign of leadership, and you are the water element, which is the emotions. It makes you highly, highly sensitive, one of the most sensitive moon signs. You're ruled by the moon herself, so you embody the divine feminine. Cancers want to make an impact. Think about water, and cardinal water especially, the power of moving energy. Cancers have to move their energy, and I think about the ocean and how it carves, it changes the rocks, it changes the landscape. This is what Cancer energy does, whether you're aware of it or not, is associated with the mother. And often Cancers did not have a nurturing parent in either their mother or their father. This is very typical. You may have had a loss, like I lost my father when I was 16, he passed. And my mother was too busy trying to take care of everyone, trying to go out and suddenly have to make a living and all kinds of things in order for her to actually be able to be really present for us. So a lot of Cancers feel like they were orphaned in some ways, even if they had a physical mother or father in their lives, or have a physical mother or father. So Cancers are here to learn to nurture themselves, to take care of themselves. This is a very self-healing energy. It's a very personal energy, and a big part of your life path is to heal your emotions. You probably didn't have an easy childhood. It's kind of ironic because the moon in Cancer is at home in Cancer. So you would think, oh, Cancer moons, they must have had like this idyllic childhood home. But that's really unusual and rare for a Cancer. However, many Cancers have that desire to have an ideal childhood, or to have like redo their childhood, or to create their own family that's very different from the family that they grew up in. So most Cancers, if you've had children, you are very devoted to your children. You want your children to be very devoted to you. You can feel very rejected if you don't receive back the love that you give. You can take things very personally. Part of the learning of Cancer moons is to learn that not everyone has the same desire for closeness or intimacy or healing that you have. Not everyone has our same desires, and we have to be able to step back and be really discerning and see, does this person have the same commitment to me that I have to them, the same commitment to my well-being that I have to their well-being? And if not, then being discerning about who you give your energy to. Cancer, you need a calm environment, especially home environment, but work too. It has to be calm, it has to be supportive, it has to be peaceful, and it has to be beautiful. You need to give yourself permission to create beautiful surroundings, whether you're at home or you're at work or wherever you are. Even if you go to a restaurant, you probably have a specific table that you want to sit at, right? You have a specific place. And often it's, I know for me as a Cancer moon, like I like to sit in the corners sometimes because I feel like I'm held by the two different walls. I feel like I'm very sheltered there. Cancers, carrying the crab shell on their back, they want to feel a sense of shelter when they're in environments that are new to them. But Cancer, overall, you need reliable, committed people in your life. You need people that you know have your back, that are willing to give that you give. Reciprocal, loving, reciprocal relationships. In terms of environment, you thrive when you're near water, whether it's the ocean or a river or a lake. You thrive in that environment. And you can also actually thrive in a desert environment, especially if you feel like overwhelmed by emotions, or you're tired of like releasing and crying. If you just kind of got over a breakup, or you lost somebody that was important to you, then the desert can be a really beautiful place for you as well. And the last thing I want to say about Cancer energy is that most Cancer moons came here to heal their ancestral karma. So you have taken on, whether you're aware of it or not, a responsibility to heal something in your ancestral line. And I know that can feel like a burden, that can feel heavy. It can feel like, no, like I've done my healing on my childhood. Why do I want to do ancestral healing now as well? But some of us need to do that in order to have the thriving, loving, reciprocal, intimately close relationships that we want to have. Okay, Leo. Hello, Leo moons. Okay, the Leo moon is connected to the 5th house, and I think this is such a beautiful placement because the 5th house is all about children, creativity. It's about enjoying life. It's about having fun, being playful. I love the 5th house energy. So Leo, this is no surprise to you. You came here to shine your light bright. You're ruled by the sun. What could get better than that? You are ruled by the sun. You are fixed fire. Fixed meaning you don't like change. Surprisingly, for being someone who, most Leo moons, they know on some level, even if there are Leo moons that are more shy and don't want to be on stage, so to speak, but most Leo moons really benefit and thrive from having some sort of audience, because you need to express. The 5th house is all about expression, and specifically emotional expression. 5th house is also true love and romance. So Leo, you're probably very romantic. You need romance in your life. You love to love. I was raised by 2 Leo parents, Leo sons, but still that energy of loving, of romance, of delight. 5th house, I always also think of in terms of like the arts, like music and films and, actors and actresses. A lot of actors have Leo suns or Leo moons. So Fixed, meaning that you like a certain amount of reliability. You need reliability. You need a certain amount of structure. But fire is transformational. So when you have a sense of safety, when you can create for yourself a sense of safety, and I'm doing this like to form like a box. It could be a round structure, but you need a sense of kind of what are the walls, what's the structure that holds me? And then you can, it's like burning a fire inside of a fire pit so that you know that the fire is contained, but you still have that fire burning through you, because fire is inspiration. Fire allows you to feel that fire burning in your belly, to feel inspired, to feel passionate. Leo moon is a very passionate moon sign. You need to be able to express yourself. You need to be able to let that inner child out, to really express. Give yourself a chance to play, Leo. Allow yourself to have an audience. It's not vain to have an audience. It's not, there's nothing weak about you if you need validation. Validation is a way, receiving validation for you is a way of increasing your self-esteem. It's a way of helping you see when you're on track. For example, if you have your own business and you get validation by people, writing reviews for you or writing testimonials for you, or simply buying your products and coming back or services and coming back as repeat customers, that's a form of validation, and that helps you know that you're on track. You're ruled by the sun, so you need plenty of sunlight, actual sunlight on your body, Leo, and you need some excitement in your life. Not all the time, but you need to have a certain amount of excitement and emotional excitement to feel like your life to feel engaged and energized in your life. And the icing on the cake for you is when you get to inspire others, Leo, because your Leo moon is an inspirational force for other people. So whatever it is that lights you up, that gives you passion, be sure to share that with others and you will feel even more fulfilled. Okay, Virgo. Virgo, you are associated with the 6th house. The 6th house is the Virgo moon house. Now, the 6th house is associated with healing, with the body, with physical health, mental health, health all around. Also, Virgo is a mutable sign, meaning that you do well with change. You're flexible. Change is actually often a good thing for you. You don't want to be stagnant. You can literally feel the energy in your body when you feel stagnant or stuck. You want to keep things moving. You are mutable earth. So the earthly reality is something that you often focus on. You focus on your physical body. You might be someone who does deep research and self-diagnosis on any physical ailment. You may deal with your digestive system. You may deal with something around mental health. You can easily overthink. You can easily be too analytical. List writing is really important, often necessary for Virgos. Journaling is really good for you, Virgo. You create order out of chaos. You need order. If you grew up in a house where there wasn't order, where your house, the home wasn't kept, fairly neat, that would have been something that probably would have really bothered you. I've seen both ways with Virgos. I've seen either they have their bedroom is like a complete mess, complete chaos. It looks like they're cleaning out closets and they took everything out and left it. Or it's super neat and you know exactly where everything is, and that gives you a sense of security. So it could go either way with you, but for most Virgos, they need to have an orderly environment because there's so much going on in the mind for Virgos. There's so much going on in the head that you need some clear spaces. You at least need one table in each room or one surface that is clear so that you can land on it and it doesn't feel full. You need a chance to empty your mind. Empty your mind through writing. Empty your mind through talking to somebody. Get your mind empty on a regular basis so that you can then take in more, because you are an organizer. You help other people organize. You really are a healing energy, Virgo. You are known as the archetype of the practical healer. So whether you're aware of it or not, whether you're in a healing profession or not, you, just by your energy, you heal other people. So practical healing can be also any healing having to do with the body. I know a lot of yoga teachers that are Virgos, massage therapists that are Virgo sun moon or have a lot of Virgo in their charts. You are really good at bringing healing energy, earthly healing energy to the planet. I think of Mother Earth as Virgo, as ruled, as connected with Virgo. So you are like the fertile embodiment of the Mother Earth Gaia, which is really, really beautiful. And most of you Virgos really thrive on being able to give your healing energy in some way to others, whether it's through your work, through your lifestyle, through your family. You really thrive on serving others in some way. Virgo moons also need time alone. You need time to be in your own energy. An astrologer friend of mine jokes that all Virgos should live in a duplex so that they can live in one part of the half of the duplex and their significant other or spouse can live in the other half of the duplex. You might be able to relate to that. You definitely need time alone to recharge your batteries, Virgo. Okay, Libra. Libra, you are connected to the 7th house of partnerships and relationships. You need balance in your life. Libra, your sign is an air sign. You are cardinal air, meaning you are an initiator, you are a leader. You like to start new projects. You like to start things. You are this leadership energy connected with air, which is communication. It's thinking, it's writing. Communication is very important to you. I would be surprised if communication wasn't your biggest love language or one of your top love languages. Libras, you're all about balance. You already know this. It's about the scales. You want reciprocity in your relationships. You want mutuality. You might say, I want an equal partnership. Some Libras, possibly not you, but some Libras really have to learn how to become aware of their own emotions. There can be emotional volatility with this moon sign. Again, it's not all Libras, but for some, there's a lot of growth that can be had through counseling, through learning about how to feel when your feelings are when you're feeling emotionally overwhelmed, for example, and how you can properly move that energy and constructively express it so that you are honoring any partners in your life. You are a loyal sign. Beauty is very important to you, Libra. Libra, you are a very artistic sign. I know a lot of artists who are Libras. You love to beautify. You probably have a beautiful home, a beautiful office. Beauty is very important to you. Creativity is something that is also very important to you. You're a very creative person. You're ruled by Venus. So Venus is connected to love, money, pleasure, and beauty. So all of those things are very important to Libras. Most Libras want partnership, but one of the things that you're here to learn is that you don't necessarily have to be in consecutive partnership. Now, I'm sure many of you have been in long-term partnerships, but it really helps you to take breaks between relationships if you are not in a long-term committed partnership, because that's when you really give yourself a lot of healing. You are a social butterfly. You need an active social life. You need to meet lots of people. You need to share connection with a lot of different people. Connection is super important to you. And emotional honesty is something that will really help you. Honesty with yourself about your emotions and being committed to sharing your emotions with those who are significant to you in very honest ways. Libra, if you can practice, and many of you already do this, I'm sure, acceptance and letting go, that really helps you to feel like you don't need to have such tight control on things in your life. And it can allow you more spontaneous interactions, more joy, and more sense of freedom in your relationships. Scorpio, hello, Scorpio. Scorpio, you are connected to the 8th house of transformation, death and rebirth, taxes, taboos, sexuality. Scorpio, you have most likely as a Scorpio moon an intense experience of life. You actually appreciate a certain level of intensity. It's different for everyone. Some people like more, some people like less, but you grow through intense experiences. You want intimacy in your life. You want deep connection. And you will go, most Scorpios are willing, especially spiritually awakened Scorpio moons, are willing to go to the depths of their being to explore those dark, murky waters, those those, like your worst, your darkest fears, your worst nightmares. Most of you, many of you at least, are willing to go there in order to feel more deeply, to have a more intense experience, to experience your emotions on the deepest level that you can. So you may go through very low feelings of like deep, dark emotions, sadness, sorrow, and then the very highest high of emotions of joy and bliss and ecstasy even. And this is one of the beautiful things about Scorpio, is that on some level your soul made a decision. I want to experience it all. I want to experience the full range of my emotions. And as what I consider to be the most, let's just say, depth of emotional water sign, you are fixed water. And so fixed means that change is not something that you sign up for. You don't say, okay, yes, let's like throw it all in and like change up my life. That's not you, Scorpio. You actually want to create a certain amount of reliability. You like a certain amount of structure. You want to be anchored in life. You want to feel that sense of security. Security is very important to you. Emotional security is important to you. You're a loyal partner. You are somebody who would probably give everything you have to a partnership that means a lot to you, to someone you really love deeply. But deep down, a lot of Scorpios fear rejection. They fear rejection. They feel abandonment, maybe even betrayal. So one of the things that you're here to do is heal a core wound. Heal a core wound. And because you're also a very good detective, you're also a very good researcher. You can find out almost anything just by like being on the internet, snooping around, so to speak, or just by being like a good, solid detective. You can find out a lot of information, both for yourself and for others. You're highly intuitive, psychic even. Death and rebirth can be a real theme for you. You can be the phoenix rising from the ashes many, many times in your life. You can have a whole series of spiritual awakenings in your lifetime, Scorpio. But what I most want to impart to you is that your emotional well-being, your emotional, like feeding your emotional depths is very, very important to your happiness and your well-being. Scorpio, you would be a compassionate guide for others, whether you do it professionally or you just do it through your own way of being. You probably are a compassionate guide for others. You probably have people that flock to you, that tell you that you have healing energy. And you are probably a rock for at least one person in your life, if not many people, but you need a rock also, Scorpio. You need to allow yourself to choose someone in your life that is also your rock. And how do you learn to trust? Often trust issues could be there for Scorpio moons. How do you learn to trust? By learning how to trust yourself, And that often means putting up boundaries. When you see red flags, paying attention to those red flags and putting up boundaries, setting clear boundaries to make sure that your needs are met. That's how you know you can trust yourself, because you know what your needs are and you set boundaries in your relationships to make sure that your needs are met, Scorpio. It also really helps you, Scorpio, to learn how to communicate your emotions, to know what you're feeling, and then communicate that to anyone that you are interacting with, especially your close people. To learn how to communicate your emotions can make a huge difference for you in your life. Sagittarius, hello, Sages. Okay, Sag, your moon sign is connected to the 9th house. The 9th house is spirituality, it's adventure, it's international travel, it's expanding your horizons. It's also higher learning, it's also religion. So a lot of Sages grew up in religious families, and if that's the case for you, you may have left whatever your religious upbringing was and forged your own sense, discovered your own sense of spirituality. Sagittarians are seekers. They're seeking the truth. They're philosophers. They are often speakers of the truth as well. They can be like ministers and spiritual teachers. And I know a high school teacher, basketball coach, actually, who's a Sag, has a lot of Sag energy in his chart, but he gave a lot of that, he just retired, but he gave a lot of his wisdom and spiritual knowledge to his basketball students. So there are a lot of ways that this energy can manifest for you, but Sag, you are a mutable fire sign, meaning that change is good for you. You grow through change, and often you want change. You want to mix it up. You want to stir things up. You need new adventures. You need new adventures on a regular basis. You're very passionate. Fire makes you passionate. You need to feel inspired. You need to keep that fire burning in your heart, in your belly. You need to keep moving forward, Sagittarius. Keep learning new things. You're a lifelong learner. You will always be learning. You will always have that very important connection to the divine. Your divine connection is everything for you, Sagittarius. You need to have fun on a regular basis. Some Sagittarians or Sag moons are in denial of their emotional pain. I have to say that it's not everyone. If you are a spiritual seeker, you've gone through a spiritual awakening especially, that's probably not you. But some Sages are in denial of their emotional pain. I really have no other way to say it. So being intimately aware of your emotions and carving time out for moving through your emotions and releasing pain from your childhood, from past lives, will really help you, Sag. You're a direct communicator. Some may say that you're too blunt. You may have experienced that. You are a social butterfly. You love meeting lots of different people. You love, people might accuse you of being a player, but really it's just that you love to meet a lot of different people. Not that there aren't some Sages who like to have a lot of different relationships going on at one time. That's very possible as well. You're very optimistic. You raise other people's level of hope and faith. You have to make sure that you don't overdo. You can overdo certain substances, alcohol, that kind of thing. You can love to party so much that it's not good for you. Some Sages no longer take in any mind-altering substances because it was hard for them to set a limit, but that's really variable depending on the specific person. Just make sure you stay inspired, Sagittarius. Make sure that you change up your environment. Make sure you give yourself the adventures and the international travel if that lights you up, or just having a chance to, just giving yourself the chance to change up the scenery on a fairly frequent basis is important for you, Sag. Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn moons. Okay, Capricorn, your moon sign is associated with the 10th house. The 10th house is career, reputation, legacy. It's meaning, it's life purpose. It's where we want to achieve. It's the most public area of the chart. It's the top of the chart. Capricorn is also associated with cardinal earth. Cardinal being an initiator. You're a leader. You want to guide other people in some way, shape, or form. And it's earth. So Capricorns are always wanting to climb the next mountain. There's always another mountain to climb. There's always another goal. You tend to be very goal-oriented, and you tend to love your work. Some Capricorn moons may overwork. Some Capricorn moons may be workaholics or overdo something in some area of their life. Capricorn is associated with the devil card, so you do have to be aware of any addictions that may be active in your life. But Capricorns overall, they love to serve, they love to lead. In your childhood, you may have had some sort of deprivation. I know that that's a very general word. You could have had a lack of money in your family, a lack of emotional, love shown toward you, hugs, I love you. I can't think of the word right now, but just where you were where it was demonstrated to you by a caregiver that they loved you, whether it was mother or father. Capricorns can definitely deal with a father wound. You may be healing your relationship with your father, or you have healed your relationship with your father in the past, or a male figure in your life. You are a rock to other people, no question, Capricorn moon. You are a rock. You do beautiful things for people. You give service. You probably are great at giving gifts. You're probably very generous in a material way, as generous as you can be given your material circumstances. Self-love is very important for your moon sign, Capricorn. You definitely would be on a self-love journey. That's very important to you. It's very important to give yourself anything that you feel deprived of. especially if you're not in a relationship or you're not happy in your relationship. It's important to ask, what would my ideal partner give to me? What would my current partner give to me? What would make me so happy and light me up if I received it from my current partner or my ideal partner? And then give that to yourself. Give it to yourself, and then you'll begin to see that you can receive this more and more, begin to receive it more and more from other people. The other thing that's really great for Capricorns is practicing present moment awareness, coming into this present moment, accepting and loving yourself exactly as you are, regardless of your achievements, regardless of your ambitions. You can be very future oriented or even looking into the past, and it can be challenging to be in the present. So for that reason, journaling is a great spiritual practice for you. Meditation is a great spiritual practice. Moving your body, being in nature, any spiritual practice that really lights you up. I know a lot of Capricorns who are students of A Course in Miracles. So whatever it is for you, Capricorn, overall, I want to say you are here to give yourself anything that you've been deprived of in your life. The comforts of life can really up your level of happiness and fulfillment. You deserve the best, Capricorn. You deserve the best. You deserve to receive and give yourself everything that you give to others. Okay, Aquarius. My oldest daughter has an Aquarius moon sign. So Aquarius, this moon sign is associated with the 11th house of wishes, hopes, and dreams. It's ruled by Uranus and Saturn. They're co-rulers. Saturn is about, interestingly enough, it's about the tried and true. It's about structure. It's about the status quo. It's about the way it's always been done. And Uranus is about breaking out of the status quo. Uranus is about freedom. It's about innovation and invention and doing things your way. Really following your own inner rhythm, letting yourself, your heart beat to the rhythm of its own. I'm messing that up. You know what I mean? Like the beat of your own drum. So interestingly enough, Aquarians need some sort of structure. There's maybe a part of you that feels very traditional, and then a part of you that just wants to blow up tradition and create your own traditions. And you could feel a push-pull there. You could feel like you're misunderstood. You could feel like you want to be there for other people. You want to help other people because it's a humanitarian sign and it's a very giving sign, very creative sign. But you also know, like deep inside, you have to follow your own impulses in the moment. You have to follow what you're here to do. It's almost like you feel like your soul came here to contribute that to humanity, to contribute a sense of freedom. And you modeling this freedom, giving your most authentic self, you're giving yourself permission to be your most authentic self, is something you came here to gift to humanity through your own example. You are, Aquarius, you are a fixed air sign. So communication is important to you. You're probably a good writer and or a good speaker, but it's fixed. So you really don't like change that much, depending on the other placement in your chart. Many Aquarians do not like change, which again is you kind of have these different energies running through you because part of you wants change. Part of you wants to change it up. Part of you wants, like, freedom is your battle cry. Aquarians are great designers. They're great in technology with computers, like computer coders even. My daughter's a digital artist. You are really good with technology. Your brain is like, I have this image of your brain firing on all cylinders. It's like both sides of your brain are very active, the right and the left side of the brain. That's why you can really create innovative things. It's a really cool, amazing energy that you're bringing to the planet, Aquarians. You need to give yourself permission to take care of your own needs when you have them. And I know that you've probably gotten pushback for that because a lot of Aquarians need time to themselves. They need to be able to have the freedom to bow out of a commitment. Some people may say you're not reliable because you have backed out on things. Some people may say that you make decisions and then you go back on them. And that's because you kind of have to have that freedom in order to go whichever way the wind is taking you. You need a tribe, Aquarians. You need a like-minded tribe. You need to be able to be your quirky self. You need to feel like you're accepted for all the different facets of your diamond self. You need to feel like you have a safe place in which your creativity, your out-of-the-box ideas can be spoken, delivered, and heard, and validated even. You need to be able to have that tribe that really makes you feel held and safe and secure to be your more wild, uninhibited, quirky, innovative, brilliant self. Pisces, you are connected to the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of retreat. It's the house of the mystic. It's the house of oneness, of unconditional love. It's your connection to the divine. It is the subconscious. It's where you do a lot of healing. It's your dreams. It's connected to the planet Neptune. And Neptune is the highest octave of love, of unconditional love. Neptune is associated with our with our own sense of what the ideal is, with utopia. It's where we can have rose-colored glasses on because so I say we because I have 3 planets in the 12th house myself. I don't have my moon sign here, but you as the Pisces moon, it's like you can feel like you live in 2 worlds. You have 1 foot in each world. You have a foot in the mystical realms and you have a foot in the earthly realm. And a lot of the time for a Pisces moon, you feel more comfortable in the mystical realm. You feel more comfortable in whatever your fantasy life may be, which is why it is very important to you to give yourself some time to be in fantasy, whether that's through watching a movie, through just your own guided meditation tends to be really enriching. You have an amazing imagination. You could lead yourself probably pretty easily in a guided meditation. By the way, I have 3 guided meditations on my YouTube channel. They all give you an opportunity to be led by your own spirit, by your own imagination. You might find them healing. You are probably really good at self-healing, Pisces. You need time to yourself, regular time to yourself. You need to just be in your own energy because, and I'm sure you've heard this and experienced this, you can be like a sponge. You can soak up other people's energy. It can be very hard for you to know what is your energy and what is someone else's energy. What are your emotions? What are their emotions? The question of, is this mine? When you're starting to feel some discomfort in your body and you ask, is this mine or is it theirs? That's a really good question for you to ask. Oftentimes just by saying, is this mine? You feel the energy just leave your body. It's amazing. You are very forgiving, Pisces. You are very forgiving of others. And forgiveness is important, but what's also important is to be discerning. So that maybe you forgive someone, but you don't necessarily spend time with them again if they're not honoring of you, if they're not good for you. You don't want to have your energy drained, give away your energy to people who can't reciprocate, who are not at a similar vibration to you. It can be very draining to you and even can make you feel very sad, sorrowful. It can bring you to a state of grief, and that's not a state that you want to stay in for too long. Pisces, you are very artistic, most likely in whatever form of art that you do. You could be a great actor or actress. You are super creative, super creative. It's very important that you have a regular spiritual practice, that you have some way of filling your own cup back up. You are so good at being in oneness. People say that Pisces energy is like the ocean. You can just merge with the ocean. And in fact, in relationships, you often merge, especially in intimate relationships, especially physically intimate relationships, people that you have sex with. You can merge your energy. So you want to be discerning about who you do that with, Pisces. I know a lot of you probably only want a committed, loving relationship, and no judgment here, however you do your relationships, but it's important to be aware that you easily merge your energy with other people and that it needs to be, you want it to be healthy and reciprocal and mutually loving. Boundaries, Pisces. I say this as someone with 3 planets in the 12th house. Boundaries are a lifelong lesson for most people with Piscean energy, and especially a Pisces moon. Having clear boundaries. This is not an easy thing to do. I know it's not an easy thing to do. Even voicing those boundaries, learning how to voice them, learning how to stand up for yourself, learning to say no, learning that you even have the permission, giving yourself permission, that sense of worthiness. I am worthy to say that I have a need that and it's not necessarily up to someone else to meet your need, but it is up to you to walk away from that person if they are not supportive of your needs. We can meet our own needs, but in relationship, we're always, making agreements and being supportive or helping, yes, sometimes meeting one another's needs. Pisces, you have the gift of being wise and compassionate. You are very compassionate toward other people. And what can really help your well-being and increase your sense of happiness and fulfillment is giving yourself the same compassion that you give to other people. If you take that word compassion and you break it down, it's come pass on. Come pass on. So with your emotions, with your feelings, with any previous experiences that caused you pain, inviting them to come pass on, releasing them from your body, purging, letting go is really beautiful medicine for you, Pisces. And I'll leave you with this, Pisces. In relationships where you were not honored, where you did not receive what you needed, you can forgive the person, you can be compassionate toward them and compassionate toward yourself, but it doesn't mean that you have to spend time with them again or see them again. You can let them go. So my beautiful friend, I hope that this video has given you a nugget of information and awareness and insight, maybe even an aha moment. I hope you received something of this from this video that was of value to you. Be sure to like the video, leave me a comment, let me know what resonated for you. Feel free to share with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my next upload. If you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when I upload next. And as I said, I have a free gift for you. The free gift is a guided meditation, returning home to yourself, returning home to your heart, reconnecting with your spirit. Go to my website, subscribe to my inspirational updates, and you will receive an instant download of this free guided meditation, Reconnecting with Your Spirit. And if you'd like to receive my weekly newsletter with weekly inspirational astrology updates, I talk about the astrology of the week. If you'd like to receive that, go to my website, subscribe, and you will get that weekly in your inbox. And for those of you who would like a personal reading, a personal astrology reading, so you can learn more about your moon sign, the different aspects that are being made to your moon sign, and all the other placements in your chart, or maybe you'd like a heart's desire reading or a life purpose reading. We'll go through all of the current transits, how they're affecting you, how the current astrology is affecting your needs, your desires, and your challenges, and what the upcoming transits are for you. It's always my goal to empower you. It's my goal to have your astrology consultation be a transformative experience, one that you will use going forward and that will really enrich your life. Go to my website. You can book your reading directly online, and I will leave the link below. It's betsygutting.com. So until my next video, my friend, I am sending you all my love. Thank you for your time, energy, and presence. It's been my joy to be with you today. Thank you for being with me. I really want this channel to be a like-minded community where we can share with one another our experiences of the astrology. So please leave me a comment. Let me know. It helps everybody in this community, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Until my next video, sending you all my love.